As an old player who had his love for this game revitalized, I have been on a journey with these videos learning a bunch of archetypes from my past that I've completely forgotten about because, again, I've been out of the game for so many years, and archetypes that I've never heard about before, and I've been on a journey learning the modern game, and today we're going to be talking about the Ancient Warriors archetype, something that I've personally never heard of. Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. If you were new here, my name is Kyle, I'm your guy with many YouTube channels. Let's get started with the first Ancient Warrior card over here. So, it's a Beast Warrior, high level, high attack points. Let's see what these bad boys can do, okay? While you control another Ancient Warriors monster, your opponent cannot target this card with card effects. Also, it cannot be destroyed by opponent's card effects. You can only use each of the following effects once per turn. If a card or cards your opponent controls is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can send one other card from your hand to the field to the graveyard, special summon this card from your hand. When this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle and sends it to the graveyard, you can special summon that monster to your field in defense position. Wow. If you guys have been following the channel, you might know that I have been a very, very big fan of cards where you can take your opponent's monsters. I find it fun to play that type of stuff. Like, I've always loved Creature Swap, always loved Goyo Guardian, those types of things. It can get itself out, and you could have that effect too. We're starting off pretty strong over here. Okay, let's continue on to the next Ancient Warrior over here. 1100 attack, 4-star Beast Warrior. You can target one continuous spell and trap card you control. I would imagine that's what we're going to be getting into. Send it to the graveyard, and if you do, half the attack of 2 face-up monsters in the field until the end of this turn. If a card or cards your opponent controls is destroyed by battle with a card effect, you can target one Ancient Warriors card in your graveyard, except this card, add it to your hand. You can only use each effect once per turn. The thing is, I don't know if these continuous spells or traps are going to have effects where it's like, if this card's sent to the graveyard because of an Ancient Warrior effect. Again, I would imagine that we're going to be seeing some continuous spells in the Ancient Warriors archetype. I don't know how much I really like the idea of just halving attack points for a little, I don't know, until the end of the turn. It would depend on whether or not the spells have effects when they go to the graveyard. Okay, let's continue on to the next Ancient Warrior over here. 700 attack, 4-star. You can target one continuous spell and trap card you control, send it to the graveyard. Okay. More effects doing that. It's gotta have those effects. Either that, or there's a spell card or a field spell or something like that where it's like, you do not have to send continuous spell and trap cards to the graveyard to activate Ancient Warriors effects. Anyways, if you do, add one Ancient Warrior spell and trap with a different name from your graveyard to your hand. If your other Ancient Warriors monster effect is activated except during the damage step, you can target one spell and trap card your opponent controls and destroy it. You can only use each effect once per turn. This is a good card. You get the MST effect, and you get to recycle these, I guess, continuous spells that have been going to the graveyard because of your monster's effects. I think it's pretty good. You can recycle your cards, get another effect on top of that. Let's continue on to the next Ancient Warrior. 2300, 6-star this one. All other Ancient Warrior monsters you control cannot be destroyed by battle. You can only use each of the following effects once per turn. Well, that's pretty good. Just all Ancient Warrior monsters cannot be destroyed by battle. All other, excuse me. At the start of the damage step, when your Ancient Warriors monster enters battle against an opponent's face-up monster, you can special summon this card from your hand, and if you do, that opponent's monster, loses 1000 attack. If a card or cards your opponent controls is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can target one card your opponent controls and destroy it. Dude, it's good that these two cards, or all of these Ancient Warrior cards, have multi-layered effects to it. I like that the higher level monsters, they're pretty easy to get out. All you need to do is battle. I kind of like that too. You have the Ancient Warriors. As soon as one of their other monsters enters battle, you can get a stronger one out there. I don't mind it, but just have that effect in general, where it's like as soon as you destroy a monster by battle or card effect, you can destroy a card your opponent controls. Let's continue on to the next Ancient Warrior over here. You can target one continuous spell trap card you control, send it to the graveyard, and if you do, add one Ancient Warrior spell and trap from your deck to your hand. If your other Ancient Warrior's monster effect is activated except during the damage step, you can target one effect monster your opponent controls, negate its effects until the end of the turn. Dude, all of these cards have been really good so far. You have multiple effects for both of them. I just want to know how easy it is to get these continuous spell and trap cards out there, okay? Let's continue on 4-star 1000 attack. If this card is added from the deck to your hand by the effect of an Ancient Warriors card, you can special summon it. When a spell or trap card effect is activated, this is a quick effect, you can send one face-up Ancient Warriors continuous spell or trap card you control to the graveyard, negate the activation. When a monster effect is activated while you control Ancient Warriors, oh, that's not this card, sorry. Ancient Warriors, Virtuous Yugioh, quick effect. You can send one face-up Ancient Warriors continuous spell trap card you control to the graveyard, negate the activation. You can only use each effect once per turn. So you can special summon it. You can negate a activation of a spell or trap. And what was the last one? Sorry. You can only use or you can send one face-up Ancient Warriors monster, continuous spell, trap card you control the graveyard to negate the activation. Well, monster effects. So you can negate all of them. Very good. Very, very good. Have one copy of this out on the field. Easy to summon if it's searchable too. All right, let's continue on over to the next Ancient Warrior. If only your opponent controls a monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. Your opponent cannot target other Ancient Warrior monsters you control with card effect. If your opponent controls more monsters than you do, you can target one monster your opponent controls and destroy it. Dude, these effects have like quite a bit of popping effects to them, eh? I like this. It has the protection for all your monsters too. I can really see this doing pretty well. Let's continue on over to the next one, Masterful Sun Mu. While you control other Ancient Warrior monster, your opponent's monster cannot target this card for attacks. You can only use each of the following effects once per turn. You can send one card from your hand or field to the graveyard, add one Ancient Warriors monster from your deck to your hand, except Ancient Warriors, this card. If any other Ancient Warriors monster effect is activated except during the damage step, you can target one monster your opponent controls, return it to the hand. Dude, with any of these cards, as your opponent can have, like, any field left. You have cards that are easy to summon. You have the 4-star monsters that you can just flat out normal summon. We continue on to another 2800 beat stick over here, okay? And this one has some pretty cool armor, I'm not going to lie. There's some pretty cool artwork to it. Cannot be normal summoned or set. Must be special summoned from your hand by controlling the highest attack Ancient Warrior monsters on the field, even if it's tied. Interesting. You can only special summon Ancient Warriors, Rebellious Lu Feng, once per turn this way. Once per turn during the main phase, quick effect. You can destroy the one face-up monster your opponent controls with the highest attack, your choice if tied. Also, you cannot activate monster effects the turn that you activate this effect, except for this card. Once per turn during the end phase, if your opponent controls a monster with the highest attack on the field, even if tied, give control of this card to your opponent. Interesting. I don't know if I love this one, to be honest with you. The other cards have way better effects, and I don't even like the idea that you could possibly give control of this card, unless we have like one of those continuous spells that would like negate any sort of downside that we have. Let's continue on over to the next one over here. 2200, 6-star. While you control a level 7 or higher Ancient Warriors monster, your opponent must pay 400 life points, to activate a card effect. You can only use each of the following effects once per turn. If this is normal summon or special summon, you can add one level 7 or higher Ancient Warriors monster or Ancient Warriors continuous spell and trap card from your deck to your hand. If a monster is sent into your opponent's graveyard except during the damage step, you can target one card your opponent controls and banish it, and if you do, draw one card. These cards just keep getting better and better, dude. You get the burn effect, you get the draw effect, you get the banish effect. Very, very strong card, arguably the best one that we've taken a look at. Let's continue on over to the next one. Gains 300 attack for each monster your opponent controls during your turn only. You can only use each effect once per turn. If you control 2 or more Ancient Warriors monsters, you can special summon this card from your hand. If your opponent controls more monsters than you do, you can activate this effect. This card can make up to 2 attacks on monsters during each turn. You know what? It gains attack points. It can be a pretty big beat stick, but I don't know if this is one that I would personally like to run in the deck. I like the other ones that we've taken a look at better. The effect doesn't stun me. Yeah, you could raise the attack points, and you could attack multiple monsters. I'd much rather have some of the other cards that we've taken a look at. Let's continue on. While you control another Ancient Warriors monster, your opponent's monster cannot target this card for attacks. You can only use each of the following effects once per turn. If your opponent controls more monsters than you do, you can send one card from your hand or field to the graveyard, special summon one Ancient Warriors monster from your deck, except this card. When an attack is declared involving another Ancient Warriors monsters you control, you can draw one card. Dude, there are so many drawing effects. There are so many searching effects. On top of that, you can just flat out special summon any one of them from the deck. Insane card. This archetype has to be great. In the modern game, it has to be a good archetype, and we're not even done over here. We also have a Link monster, okay? So it requires 2 Beast Warrior monsters, including a Wind Ancient Warriors monster. I haven't been paying attention if they were all Wind. All Ancient Warriors monster you control gain 500 attack and defense. You can only use each of the following effects once per turn. If this card is Link summoned, you can add one Ancient Warriors card from your deck to your hand. Quick effect, you can send one card from your hand or field to the graveyard and target one face-up card your opponent controls, return to the hand. Pop in another card, search in another card. It seems to be the Ancient Warrior way, although that is really low attack points. Okay, this is what I wanted to see. What do the continuous spells and traps do? Ancient Warriors Saga, it seems like these cards are going to be called. The artwork for these are really, really cool, man. Anyways, you can target one face-up monster your opponent controls and one Ancient Warriors monster you control. Until the end of this turn, half that opponent's monster's attack, and if you do, add the lost attack to your monster, even if this card leaves the field. If this card is sent to the graveyard while you control an Ancient Warriors monster with 2 or more different attributes, you can place one Ancient Warriors continuous spell trap from your hand or deck face-up on your field, except this card. You can only use each effect once per turn. Okay, So automatically you're going to win any battle. You're going to reduce the life points of your opponents more from that battle. And you can get another Ancient Warrior Saga card. All right, let's keep going. Let's see what else we got going over here. We also have Chivalrous Path. Oh, wow. Chivalrous Path, excuse me. If an Ancient Warrior's monster or monsters will be destroyed by battle, you can send this card to the graveyard instead. You can only use each effect once per turn. If an opponent special summons a monster or monsters during the damage step, you can special summon one Ancient Warrior's token, 500/500. When a card or effect is activated that targets an Ancient Warrior's monster or monsters on the field, you can banish this card from your graveyard and negate the activation. A little bit weaker than the other card, but it definitely can't hurt to have. I still think it's a good card as well. Let's continue on over to another continuous spell, Deception and Betrayal. I like the war theme that this whole thing has going on. We'll make a card art commentary video on this soon. During your main phase, you can special summon one Ancient Warrior's monster from your hand, and if you do, take damage equal to its level times 100. You can send this face-up card from the spell and trap cards onto the graveyard, then target one Ancient Warrior's monster in the field, change it to any attribute. Then, if you target an opponent's monster, you can take control of it. You can only use each effect once per turn. Hey, you know what? I am always a big fan of taking control of your opponent's monster. So you just flat out take control of it. There's not even until the end of the turn. Love it, love it, love it, love it. Let's continue on to another trap card. If your Ancient Warrior monster battles, your opponent cannot activate any spell or traps until the end of the damage step. You can only use each of the effects once per turn and only once that turn. At the start of your opponent's battle phase, you can send this face-up card from your spell and trap zone to the graveyard. Monsters your opponent controls cannot target Ancient Warriors for attacks this turn. When an opponent's monster declares an attack, you can banish this card from your graveyard, special summon one Ancient Warriors monster from your deck. It's ridiculous how many spells and traps have effects in the graveyard now that just make them infinitely better than anything in the modern game, or like that have been, I guess, prior to the modern game, right? So you have the protection from your opponent's spells and traps. You have the negation. It's great. You have the second effect in the graveyard. This is another really strong card. Let's continue on. You must send this card to the graveyard during your second standby phase after activation. Haven't seen one of those in a while. It's like an old Swords of Revealing Light type card. Once per turn during your main phase, toss a coin, and if the result is heads, send this card to the graveyard. If this card is sent from spell and trap card zone to the graveyard, you can activate this effect. This turn, your opponent cannot activate cards or effects in response to the activation of your Ancient Warriors cards or effects. Also, until the end of the turn, all Ancient Warriors effect monsters you control currently gain this effect. When this card declares an attack, you can destroy one card your opponent controls. Again, great card. Has the effect if it goes to the graveyard. Not a big deal if you lose the coin toss. Pfft. Why can't the Arcana Force have these types of cards? Oh! I don't recall if we've looked at all of the new support for Arcana Force. I've heard a little bit about that. We'll have to double check that over on the channel. Love the Arcana Force archetype. Let's continue on to the next continuous spell. If you control Ancient Warriors monsters with 2 or more different attributes, you can declare one attribute. Your opponent cannot activate the effects of monsters they currently control with that attribute until the end of the turn, even if this card leaves the field. If your opponent special summons a monster or monsters, you can activate an Ancient Warriors monster's effect except during the damage step. You can make all Ancient Warrior monsters you control gain 300 attack for each Ancient Warriors monster you control until the end of this turn, even if this card leaves the field. You can only use each effect once per turn. I mean, it's good. The best part about it is it's a continuous spell, and if your opponent runs any sort of deck that has like a consistent attribute, excuse me, I was saying archetype, that would definitely be helpful. But other than that, like the attack boost is always good. Multiple effects, multiple layers to the spell card. It's always great. Let's continue on over to 3 visits. During your main phase, if you normal summon or special summon an Ancient Warriors monster, you can target one of those monsters, add one Ancient Warriors monster with a different name from your deck to your hand. If this card is sent from the spell and trap card zone to the graveyard, you can special summon one Ancient Warriors monster from your hand. You can only use each effect once per turn, and send this card to the graveyard during the second standby phase after activation. So it doesn't even matter if these cards go to the graveyard, which is crazy. It's a good search card. You can get whoever you want, but even then, you're special summoning from the deck as well. I believe this archetype would be pretty strong, and if you guys want to hear me learn about more archetypes, then why don't you check out this video on screen right now? I would love to have you over there. Thank you for watching, guys. Take care, everybody.